It's time for Tiger Talk, presented by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room. Old Chicago, amazing craft beers and food, north of I-70 in Hayes. Old Chicago, share, reconnect, celebrate. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by these premier Tiger sponsors. Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, providing the best in-home loans to the Tiger community since 1920. The Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, part of the University of Kansas Health System, and the official physicians for Fort Hays State University Athletics. The certified public accountants of Adams, Brown, Barron, and Ball. Your trusted advisors, providing you with commitment, experience, and integrity. BTI, your John Deere dealer, with locations in Buckland, Great Bend, Greensburg, Hoxie, Ness City, and Pratt. BTI, Valley Hope of Norton. Get help and find hope. The Taco Shop. Dine in, carry out, or delivery. You've never had it so good. Horizon Appliance and Mattress. TVs, appliances, Traeger grills, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Open 7 days a week at 1501 East 27th in Hayes. And Eagle Communications. Internet, TV, phone. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
And welcome to Tiger Talk on a Monday evening, recorded live during the noon hour at Old Chicago. We record the live over the noon hour, so come on out tomorrow or next week and join us at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, your pizza and craft beer authority north of Interstate in Hayes, and your new home for Tiger Talk on Tiger Radio Mix 103. I'm Dustin Armbruster, filling in for Gerard Wellbrock, joined by Coach Chris Brown. And Coach, a tough loss on Saturday, 28-24, and football is such an interesting game because there's 11 moving parts on each side of the ball, and you do it multiple times, hundreds of times in a game, but yet it came down to really 6 plays, 4 turnovers, and 2 big offensive plays by Emporia State. That was the difference.
Yeah, we did. You know, that's you're not going to win ball games when you have 4 turnovers, and 2 of them are inside the red zone, and then 2 of them are one's on our side of the field, and then we give up points, and then we give up 2 big plays. I mean, you're just not going to win ball games like that. So we got to find ways to control the ball and take care of the ball, and then not give up the big plays on defense. But you look back at it, it was just those 6 plays, and it cost us the game. And our kids need to learn from it and grow from it, and hopefully get better. This week in practice. But it's a heartbreaker. It's hard to swallow that one, and it's really hard to swallow the 2 losses that we've had because with 4 against Emporia, 3 against Western, and all those turnovers have cost us ball games.
Well, that is the great equalizer in so many sports, but especially football, because it's so hard to score in football, and then when you give it away, that makes it even tougher.
It is, and as a coach, it just makes you sick because we got some talented kids. We just really haven't put everything together yet, and we need to start doing that these next few weeks. But it's just when you lose that way and in that fashion, it doesn't feel good. I can handle somebody just physically beating us or mentally beating us, but to lose a game like that and just give it away, I mean, those are the ones that are hard to swallow, and as a coach, it just makes you sick.
Now you get set to try to bounce back, and not that you want the experience, but these kids have had to bounce back from a loss before, and at least they kind of know the process and maybe a little bit of what to expect from you coaches during this week.
Yeah, and we're going to have a little team meeting today, with the whole team. Even the red shirts are going to come in, and we're just going to kind of talk about the future and what everything entails, and we still got a lot of things to play for, and we got to have this meeting, just kind of get everything back on the same page and everybody looking in the same direction as the coaching staff's looking, and as players, what can we do better as coaches to prepare you and get you ready and to motivate you and to get you excited. But we got to start over. I mean, right now it's a start over week. We got to forget about what happened in the past and move forward and make something happen.
And that's something you and your staff has always done well. It's not just telling the kids to look in the mirror. It's as coaches, you guys look in the mirror as well.
Yeah, we do. We always look at different things, what could we have done better as coaches, what plays could we have called, what things did we not see. And, we're always trying to make, our kids better. And whatever we can do to make them better, that's what we want to do. And, I look in the mirror every day and know I got to go to work and face these young men and, what am I doing wrong right now? What do I need to fix, and how do I motivate you, and how do I get you excited to play, and how do I make you practice harder and make the plays in practice? What do I need to do to help you guys out? Because, when it comes down to it, we make the calls and they have to play, and we can't play for them on the field, and I got to do everything I can to make sure that we're ready to go and focused and locked in.
And we talked about it last week. Emporia State, not your typical 2-3 team. They had played a brutal schedule at the beginning of the year. They had a lot of talent and still have a lot of talent. They're not your normal 2-3 team that you're going on the road to face.
No, they're not. They're a good football team. I mean, they played Pitt, they played Northwest, they played Lindenwood. I mean, they've played a lot of good football teams, and there's a couple others in there, but I don't know exactly who they are. And and then they played us as well. But they are very good defensively. They're good. Offensively, they're very efficient with their run game and their pass game, and the deep threat's always there with them as well. But they came ready to play, and they were focused and locked in, and they came to win that ball game. I think we played not to lose it, and when you play not to lose, usually end up losing instead of pinning yours back and getting after it and try to win something. So they were ready, they were fired up and focused, and we just kind of came out. We came out quick, heavy hitting, and scored early, and I think our kids just kind of relaxed and thought it was going to be an easy game, and in this conference, it's not like that.
Can you feel those emotions during the game of the kids either relaxing or maybe building up more before a game? Can you feel that with your team?
At times, like this game, when we get out there, they're pretty excited before the game, fired up, amped up, ready to get after it, and that's how we started. And then right after we scored, we got the ball back, and we went down and get ready to score again, and then we fumbled. And once we fumbled, I just saw our kids just kind of panic a little bit, and then we made it into a dogfight, until the very end where, we just punched in right there. Who knows how that game ends up. But, there's adversity in games and there's adversity in life, and you got to fight through it and figure it out. And, that's why we're here as coaches, just to kind of teach them and show them how to do those things, because, sometime later on in their life, they're going to have some adversity, and you got to learn how to fight through it and battle through it. So we have some adversity. We got to battle and fight through it.
We'll talk more about Saturday's game, Fort Hays State at Emporia State, a 28-24 win for the home team, Emporia State. Tiger Talk is brought to you by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, home of the World Beer Tour with 110 beers from around the world. Ask for details the next time you're in at Old Chicago and begin your World Beer Tour. Old Chicago, your pizza and craft beer authority. This is Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wartenberger Construction.
I'm Patty Stoll, broker-owner of Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. We want your dreams to become a reality. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty prides itself in putting you first.
Wendelberger goes in motion to the right side. Another high snap, play action pass. Mazzara downfield. Hazlett all by himself at the 20. He's going to walk it into the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. Harley Hazlett all by himself over on the Tigers sideline. The easiest pass completion Mazzara may have all year. And the Tigers got a touchdown in their opening possession and lead it 6-0 with 12:50 to go in the first quarter.
That is how the game started on Saturday for Fort Hays State in a 28-24 loss to Emporia State. We're at Tiger Talk, recorded during the noon hour, then played back here on Tiger Radio Mix 103 and replayed as well on Eagle Cable Community Television. Tiger Talk recorded at Old Chicago, burgers, sandwiches, salads, and distinctive tap room fare. Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, serious craft brews, seriously good food. And Coach, it almost started too easy, almost too perfect. Drive down and score, wide open touchdown, get the ball back quickly, driving down again, and then the fumble inside of the 1 yard line. And you mentioned in the previous segment, kind of felt like everybody panicked just a little bit. And if you punch that in, make it 14-0, that might have been the ball game.
It might have been, because then we had other opportunities, in the second half as well. And I'm looking at that game going, heck, if we don't turn the ball over as many times as we did, it might be 28-0. Going into half, just because we were playing well offensively. We just shot ourselves in the foot and made some really, really dumb mistakes, especially just turning the ball over. That fumble, and then the pick. I call it the miracle pick, kind of, because it was tipped, and the guy made a great effort and picked it off down there in the end zone. But we still kick a field goal there, and we get another field goal before the half opportunity, and we missed that one. But it was a 52-yard. It's still pretty long, but Dante's leg, expect him to make those things, but it did. We just kind of a little bit of a panic. Kids didn't really react the way we thought they were going to react, but you got to suck it up and get after it and battle. I mean, that's just the way it is. It's 4 quarters. You got to play hard for 4 quarters and make things happen.
We see a lot of times along the goal line, many levels of football, you're trying to make that extra effort to score on the play or maybe reach the ball out. Did something like that happen, that the ball got punched out, or was that just Emporia State ripping the football away?
You know, they were doing a good job of stripping it all night, but it looked like, you know, Hickman was trying to get the ball in a position to where he could actually reach over to the goal line if he did get tackled, instead of just 2 hands on the ball, securing it. You know, it's 3rd down. If we don't get it in, we're going to kick the field goal anyway. And it looked like he kind of bobbled it as he was trying to get his hands positioned to reach over the goal line. But, you know, secure the ball. You know, bury your head, get down, get vertical downhill, and then get in the end zone. And if you don't get in, at least we got a chance to get 3 points.
How does a coach fix something like that, or is it a one-off game?
No, we do it every day in practice. I mean, we do a lot of individual drills that, you know, with practice where we put a towel, you know, up by their chest where they're holding the ball. And, you know, if it falls out, we're doing push-ups for it. And, you know, so they got to keep the ball high and tight and secure. And, you know, I guess that's something we'll work on this week again, to just don't try to position the ball to reach out over the goal line. I mean, you see it all the time in the NFL, or just even college. Those guys do that. The ball gets knocked out, and they don't get the touchdown. So just bury your head, get across, and secure the ball. So we'll do some things this week. And sometimes, you know, just watching our guys take the handoff properly is, you know, things you learned back in kindergarten. You know, we're not doing those things, you know, the way we're supposed to. So we got to get back to basics this week at the running back position, and I'm going to take full responsibility, you know, for that. That's my position, and I got to make sure our guys are doing things right.
You force a 3-and-out following that fumble and get the ball at the 33 or 35-yard line. And then again, disaster strikes, 1 play and a fumble. And at that point, it felt like Emporia State had realized they are a part of this ball game.
Yeah, they did. You know, gave them confidence. You know, we gave a team confidence that has struggled the last couple of weeks, and you know, they're going to run with it and feel pretty good about themselves and start playing even harder. And you know, that's what we did. I mean, they're a good football team. You know, and a good football team you can't give confidence to. And you know, we gave it to them. And you know, after that, you saw that they were raking for that ball every single time. And you know, now my running backs just put themselves in a hole. You know, now teams are going to see that as well and do the same thing to them. So, you know, ball security is going to be on their minds at all times. And, you know, especially running between the tackles. You know, you got to have 2 hands on the ball, but when you get to the open field, now you can do the single arm thing. But right now we got to focus on, you know, ball security.
In that first half, defense played very well and really limited Emporia State to staying in front of them. And there were some 10-play and 12-play drives, yet weren't going very far. Emporia State was running a lot of plays and doing so very quickly, but getting very little yardage in the first half.
Yeah, our guys did a good job keeping things in front and not giving up the big play. And, you know, that's just the type of offense they have. They're going to get some yards, and they're going to make some things happen. And, you know, you just got to stay strong and stay tough and not get frustrated, because, you know, it's going to happen. They're a team that's going to get a lot of yards, you know, every single game, just because of the type of offense they run. And the quarterback can scramble and use his feet and then make things happen. So I was proud of our guys that first half of the things they did and keeping everything in front.
7-0 at halftime, and certainly Emporia State has to feel lucky to be within 7, and for your locker room has to feel like should be ahead by more. When you go to a locker room in that situation, what is the conversation? Because there's one team that feels lucky to be in the game, and there's one team that feels like should have ended it already.
No, we got to do a better job of finishing things off and playing hard for 4 quarters. And, you know, we had 2 quarters left. You know, we did not play well that first half, too many turnovers. And, you know, those are the things you talk about, securing the ball, doing things the right way, becoming better tacklers on defense. And, you know, even though they didn't give up very much that first half. And offensively, you know, making the plays when your number's called. And, you know, I thought we did that for the most part. Just when it got to those crucial situations, you know, we hurt ourselves and shot ourselves in the foot. And, you know, those are the talks you have. You know, we got to get better. We got to do things better. And, you know, quit being so lackadaisical. Let's put our foot on the gas pedal and let's go. And, you know, we just didn't do that in the second half.
During the first half, Jose Delgado got enough tackles to move up another spot in the tackle charts all-time at Fort Hays State University, and passes Jose Salcido, who's going into the Hall of Fame this weekend for Fort Hays State University. And that tells you where Jose Delgado ranks in the all-time players and linebackers here at Fort Hays State.
You know, he's been here a long time. And you know, it was a blessing to get a kid like Jose. I mean, he's hardworking, good kid, does well in the classroom, great leader on the football field, and he loves football. You know, and he loves being told that he's too small, you know, and he gets excited about those things because, you know, he plays big on the field and he comes up with a lot of big plays and he makes a lot of plays for us. So, I wish we had about 4 or 5 more of him because, you know, that really turned the defense around and heck, put some of those guys like that on offense and see what happens.
When you have a guy like that really leads by example and on the field, What does that do for younger linebackers, guys that are maybe standing on the sidelines and watching?
Just watching him play and how he plays the game, and how he prepares, for each game as well. They see him in there watching film and going through his scouting reports and asking questions, and he knows our defense, in and out, and able to line guys up and guys in good position, and that's just them seeing him do all those things. It really helps those young guys out of what they have to do in the future as well if they want to be great like Jose. It didn't come easy for him. He had to work at it, and he's done everything he could possibly do to make himself great. And I'm proud of him, but it really rubs off on our young guys just seeing how things really work and the price you have to pay to be great at this.
Tigers led 7-0 at halftime during a 28-24 loss to Emporia State. We'll talk more about that second half when we return to Tiger Talk, recorded live over the noon hour at Old Chicago. And then you can catch a replay of Tiger Talk Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. on Eagle Cable Channel 14 and 614. You can always watch at HaysPost.com. We're at Old Chicago for Tiger Talk on the Tiger Sports Network, built by Paul Wartenberger Construction.
Ready to discover something new? The next time you're in your car, tune your radio to 94.3 FM.
It's here.
It's Hayes' greatest hits.
Love it.
On 1400 KAYS and 94.3 FM. Do you believe in love story?
Well, 94.3 FM, KAYS. Go ahead, check us out.
Jacoby Williams, he'll now go in motion from right to left. Take to the running back. High snap. They play action. They roll near side. Throw across the end zone. Caught by Butke. Touchdown, Fort Hays State. Redshirt freshman Hunter Butke. His first career catch. It's a touchdown. And the Tigers answer and take the lead 13-7.
Second half action between the Tigers and Hornets in Emporia, a 28-24 loss by Fort Hays State over the weekend. Dustin Armbruster in for Gerard Wellbrock, joined by Tiger coach Chris Brown. And we're at Old Chicago, where we record the program over the lunch hour and then replay at 6 o'clock on Tiger Radio Mix 103. Old Chicago, north of I-70 in Hayes. Serious craft brews, seriously good food. And it was a new package that we saw out of the offense in the second half. We saw 3 linebackers, and then certainly Harley Hazlett three tight ends, and then Harley Hazlett. You can see Harley as a tight end if he was needing to play something else, but that's about the biggest package we've seen out of the offense so far.
Yeah, it is just something we saw in film and trying to get some bigger guys on the field and being able to establish a run game, especially down in the red zone and inside the 10, and just trying to get guys, more big bodies in there to block. And it worked out well for us. Had a nice little play action off of it to Budke, and that's something we practice out of different formations as well. And it worked out for us. So we'll continue to use it. We'll probably expand out of it a little bit and just try to get a few more plays and hopefully get a few more touchdowns out of it.
Budke new to the program and starting to see some time on the field now.
Yeah, he is. He's a tremendous kid. Works hard, and he's Kansas kid too. And it's always good to see those kids excel and do great things. And he's still learning, and he's just a redshirt freshman, and he's still got a lot of growing to do, and he's going to get stronger as the years go on. He's going to get faster as the years go on, and he's going to learn our offense better as well. He's doing a good job for what we've asked him to do so far, and you'll probably see him quite a bit more, each week in and week out. Just with the more confidence he's getting and understanding what we're doing offensively, you're going to see him play quite a bit.
That score made it 14-7 after the extra point, but the first play of the second half, the defense gets beat just by a half a step, and that's the difference between an incomplete pass and a touchdown. Marstall able to go over the top of the defense.
It is, it's just those little, just game of inches, and that's really what it is. And you peak just a little bit, you're beat, and they got us, and it was a nice play on their part, and it's just one of those games that I'm sitting here looking at going, man, can we just go play that one again? I just want to do this game all over again, start all over, and maybe have a better outcome.
Your team responds well, though, scores 10 straight points, goes up 17-7, and then it's 17-14, and it felt like the snowball started to roll downhill a little bit on your team. And you mentioned it, the bad break, the miracle interception, whatever you want to call it. Matt Wendelberger is wide open, and a lineman just waves his hand over to the right. It's tipped, a diving interception. Again, another moment where if it goes your way, the game might be over.
Yeah, it is. It's just one of those things that, we've had some bad luck this year, and I don't know exactly what it is. It's just a few little things here and there, and we're just things aren't rolling our way this year. Last year we had a lot of things bounce our way, balls roll away. I mean, different things happening that benefited us, and this year we don't have that really happening for us right now. So hopefully these next 5 weeks, it does. But we panic a little bit. We know we should be used to playing from behind and winning ball games and being in tight situations, because that's all we did last year. The whole season, and this year it's kind of been the same thing except for one game. And we ought to be used to playing in tight situations and not being so stressed. I just thought we panicked a little bit and weren't making the plays.
You mentioned the ball rolling the wrong way. If you're a Tiger, Connor Shadid comes up and hits Marstall and actually injures him for a play, but forces the quarterback to fumble the ball, and the ball rolls forward and across the first down marker and is recovered by Emporia State. There are moments that are out of your control, and that's one of them. Connor Shadid makes a fantastic play, and it was almost too good of a play.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like I said, it's just things just aren't happening for us. So we got to go start making things happen, instead of, banking on something, going our way. We got to go make those things happen and make things go our way. And, once we start playing like that, going out to win and make things happen, we're going to win some more ball games. And I think that's just kind of where we're at right now. We're just kind of filling things out and hoping things go our way, and instead of just making them happen.
Let's talk about the last two drives of the game, because your team comes down and scores and takes a 24-21 lead, and there's still a little over 5 minutes on the clock. Emporia State converts on a long third down, on a couple of fourth down plays as well. Defensively, what went right, what went wrong during that drive? Obviously, they scored. That's what went wrong. But, again, Emporia State had to go in such small chunks in order to make it happen.
Yeah, they did, and they burned up a lot of clock as well, and, I'm kind of in that situation going, okay, they're close. Do I need to call a timeout to save some clock? Do I not? Is our defense going to stop, and then there's no time left on the clock? I mean, they made the plays necessary to get first downs, and we didn't, and it's just maybe a guy out of position here, a guy out of position there, on the touchdown. His quarterback scrambled. We came out of coverage when we shouldn't have, and he found the open guy. So it's just, a few little things, not expanding when we need to expand, as a linebacker, and, not keeping things in front of us a little bit, and, and not tackling well. But, they made the plays when they needed to make them, we didn't.
And then offensively, you have less than a minute to try to drive the length of the field, need a touchdown because of the 4-point differential. How do you set up a drive like that? Is the conversation happening towards the end of the defensive drive to get things in line? Because you can't make a lot of personnel changes. This isn't the NFL. Nobody has a receiver in their helmet to hear what the sideline's talking about.
No, we do it all with week during practice. We'll do a 2-minute drill against our defense. Every Thursday we do that. We talk about it in practice and work that drill in practice quite a bit, because it's going to happen and it's going to arise. And so we prepare our kids for it. They know what the plays are going to be, and we just roll with it. And then last play at the very end, we have a freshman in there playing right tackle and doesn't quite understand the blocking scheme because he hasn't really done it a lot, and Rover's out, and trying to think, because he thinks there's an outside linebacker coming to blitz when he doesn't need to, and just needs to sit in there because our tailback is going to seal the edge for the quarterback, and we let a guy go free and they get the sack. So it's been a tough year, on the O-line. We got a true freshman playing right now. We got 2 redshirt freshmen. We got a guy that this is his first year playing the O-line in Amari, and he was just a sophomore. And then we got Burke now playing center. So, and Burke's our oldest guy. He's played center, guard, back to center, and he's just a junior. So, not a lot of experience in that group, but they're hanging in there. They're getting better each week, and we just keep getting those dang injuries that keep setting us back. So, I don't know. We just work those 2-minute situations every single day, and you have to for those situations like that, and it almost worked out for us.
On that offensive line, Nathan Hale, a guy who might come back this year. Any update on him?
Yeah, we'll see this week. I think he's, down to like a half cast now, so his hands should be free to hopefully, be able to block and be able to grab, because, we don't call it holding on the O-line. It's called grabbing.
Right.
So, it's hopefully we get him back this week. It's kind of, what the doctor says and the healing process on it. But, we're hoping this is the week. We kind of taking these last 2 weeks, because he was kind of cleared, 2 weeks ago, but it wasn't quite where we wanted it yet. So hopefully the last 2 weeks we could have probably played him, but just to be safe for the young man's sake, we wanted to make sure that he was healthy and 100%. So we'll find out, later on today on where he's at.
And Pat Kelly, a guy who obviously is out for the season with a knee injury, but he's back around the program. He's been on the sidelines for a couple of games now, and how's he doing? And obviously he's got a long ways to go with rehab, but how's he doing?
He's doing good. We told Pat, you're not a player right now, you're a coach. You need to coach these young guys up and answer questions and give them ideas and give them little technique things that you use, and just kind of tell them what you're seeing and how they need to do things. And he's been doing that at practice and during the game as well. So it's cool to see him in that aspect of kind of being a coach. And he loves it because I think eventually he wants to do that anyway. And it's just cool to see the things that he's got to say and how he says different things and how the kids respond to him, because they really do respond well to him.
I'm sure we've already talked about the previous game a little too much for your taste. We'll flip the page when we come back and talk about a big home game against Pittsburg State on Saturday, and there was going to be a lot on the line regardless, but even more so now for both teams. We'll talk about it and when we return to Old Chicago on Tiger Talk.
Hi, everyone. This is Gerard Welbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's Channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HaysPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour Mondays at Old Chicago. Back to pass is the quarterback, Marstall, and he's hit, and down he goes. Sacked back there by Sterling Swopes.
Part of the action from the Tigers' 28-24 loss against Emporia State on Saturday. And Sterling Swopes, coach, has had a fantastic year, but really these last 2 or 3 games, he's maybe playing some of his best football.
He is. He's done some good things for us and made some nice plays for us, but there's still a lot that Sterling needs to learn, about the game of football. And, at times he takes a few little breaks here and there, and he's got to learn how to play hard for 4 quarters no matter how tired you get. That's just that mental toughness, that we're talking about. To play football, you got to have mental and physical toughness as well. And I think right now, just the whole team itself lacks a little bit of mental toughness. So I try to instill that in him this week, as well, to get him ready, because this next game is going to be it's going to be a mentally challenging game, especially coming off a loss like we did. But, Sterling's done well. He still kind of freelances a little bit here and there, and, I think that's just him being young and still trying to learn what we're doing. But, when it's all said and done, he could be very good if he just does what he's, coached to do.
Pittsburg State rolls to town on Saturday, and the last 2 or 3 matchups at Lewis Field Stadium have been fantastic ball games, very tight down the end. And it was your now tight end, Jacoby, that kind of made he made the difference a year ago, and what a ball game from a season ago. So much on the line this Saturday, but it's Fort Hays State and Pitt State, and with 2 teams battling at the top of the conference standings, this is very important.
It is. It's real important. We're still trying to win a conference championship because it's still in our hands, and we're still trying to get to the playoffs. And this is a big game, especially for playoffs. If we can win out and Pitt wins out, well, we got the head-to-head on them. We still all tie for the conference championship, but when it comes to playoffs, since we got the head-to-head, we'll be in the playoffs instead of them. So it's a huge game for us, and they're going to be the same way. They're trying to fight for that playoff spot. They're trying to win the conference as well, and this is a big game, and we got to come ready to take care of business.
Do you talk to the team about the MIAA standings or what maybe the playoff picture looks like? Do you inform them on what's ahead?
Yeah, we do. You talk about those things all the time, and we're really going to have a good long talk today about it. God's given us plenty of opportunities. The last few weeks, this whole season about, with wins and losses, and I was thinking after the game that we're just playing for pride. These next 5 weeks, because basically I thought we were out of the playoffs, out of contention, and when I finally calmed down and came back to reality and thought about things, and it's still there. Northwest beat them, so now they're 2 teams with 1 loss. We got 2 losses, and if we win out, there's 3 teams there with 2 losses, and at least, and it's a share of the conference championship. So we're going to have that talk today about the importance of doing things the right way and making sure everything that we do is important to us, and that everything does matter, and we got to be perfect at everything that we do. And so we'll have that talk today. So hopefully it kind of gets them locked back in and understand that we are still playing for a lot right here.
Pittsburg State has had an interesting season. They've played 2 or 3 different quarterbacks. They've had some changes going on. Roderick's a guy who's been hurt over past years. He's played well when he's not hurt. What do you expect out of Pittsburg State on that offensive side?
Oh, I don't know. You're pretty much going to get the same run plays, I think, with whichever quarterback it is. I mean, they've used, 3 different kids this year, and, they're going to try to run the ball first, try to run the clock and shorten the game as much as possible. Defensively, they're studs on defense. I mean, they're big up front. They're fast, they're athletic. They're really good in the secondary. They got a safety that's a tremendous player but didn't play last week. They got a corner that's a tremendous player that didn't play last week as well. So, knowing our luck, they'll be back this week, of course. So, but they're just good all over the field. I mean, they're physical, they're fast, they're aggressive. We got to kind of start playing that same way. If we want to win this ball game. So, there's a lot at stake, and our kids need to understand that, and Pitt knows that same thing as well. So. Better be ready because it's going to be a battle.
How about on the defensive side of the ball?
For us or
for Pitt State?
For Pitt, they're good. I mean, the number one corner, they've used him all over the field. He's been a punt returner, kick returner. He's played some wide receiver. He's played corner for him. Looked like he got hurt last week, but I don't know if he'll be back or not. And their safety's, a tremendous kid. But they play a lot of man coverage. We've seen a lot of man out of him. They'll zone one side, man the other. They haven't really had to blitz a lot because their front four done such a good job of dominating the line of scrimmage. Linebackers run very, very well, and their safeties keep things in front and don't give up the big plays. So, we're going to earn everything that we get, and we can't have a stupid mistake that's going to cost us and put our defense in a bad situation. So, it's going to be a battle. We just got to find ways to attack them, and we've been working on that this morning, just trying to find ways to get the ball out of our hands quick and put a lot of pressure on them.
Emporia, Fort Hays State has been a place where there's been 7,000 plus people at a game, 6,900 people at a game, and it certainly holds a home field advantage when you have that many people rooting you on. And Pittsburg State's a name that's coming to town. I would expect afternoon football on Saturday's been dreary for about 5 straight days by now. It's time to get out and have some fun at Lewis Field Stadium.
I hope so. I hope our fans are still behind us and still, supporting us. We do have the 2 losses, and I hope that doesn't hurt us. But, we're still playing for a lot here, and we need our fans in our corner to back us and support us and, give us that extra little juicy energy. We've played better at home than we've played anywhere else. We have not played very well on the road, yet. We did at Southern, but, Southern's in struggling times right now. But, we didn't play very good at Emporia. We didn't play very good at Mo West. But at home, we've played pretty well. And, we need their support, and we need the crazy. I mean, I love the student section. The student section does a great job of, harassing the opponent and getting in their heads
That's what
a
they're
little
there
bit.
for.
That's exactly right. And, we need that. And they don't know how much that means to us and how much that really helps, our team and motivates our team.
This is also an opportunity to recognize some Hall of Famers, and Jose Salcido is going to be one of those guys. Is there much history given to the kids? Do they know about when the football players go in that, hey, this is some of your lineage here as a Tiger?
Yeah, that's, this is who we're playing for. We're playing for some of these guys that are going to the Hall of Fame or soon to be inducted, or even former players that are a few years away from being into the Hall of Fame as well. But that's who you're playing for, those guys before you, and making them proud of the program and seeing them come back and putting a good product on the field, and they're excited about it. I mean, that's really what it's about. And it's also playing for our community, as well, that, we want to put a good product on the field that they can come and support every Saturday and have that excitement and, just, a time for family and a time to bond as well. So, but it's really about, former players and your community, and that's who we're playing for.
A number of years ago, I don't know if out in the community that Gerard and I would have been talking to people about a loss at Emporia State 28-24. But people want to know now that people weren't able to go to the game and were just listening and wanted to know, what happened and how did the game turn out. And even in losses, people are still invested in what's happening in Tiger football. And that wasn't the case when you first came to town.
No, it wasn't, but they care, and we have, some really, really good kids that have good character and, do things in the community as well. And, I think that helps. I mean, we have to get involved with the community as well, just to let them know that we're interested in them, so they'll be interested in us as well. And that's what it's about. It's all of us together. I mean, it's Fort Hays State University. It's Hays, Kansas. I mean, Fort Hays is a big part of what Hays is, and so we got to get out and give back as well. And we do those things with big brothers, big sisters, and little camps that we run. We'll go to school carnivals and do those things as well. But that's part of being a football player, and then that's part of being part of this community. You got to give back.
One final break, and we'll wrap things up from Old Chicago. Tiger Talk is recorded at Old Chicago and Tap Room over the noon hour on Mondays, and then played right back here. Old Chicago, your craft beer authority with 30 rotating draft beers. Stop by today north of Interstate at Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room.
As you plan for your business in 2018, advertising should be an important part of your growth strategy. Digital marketing puts your business in front of the right customers online. Advertising with the Hayes Post ensures your message will be viewed 1.5 million times a month, including 375,000 unique views a week. Are you ready to grow your business? Advertise with us today. It's affordable and it works. Call us today at 785-628-0467. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Inside the Farm Implement and Supply red zone. Handoff, Hickman spins off a tackle to the goal line, lunges, touchdown, Fort Hays State. DJ Hickman on second effort gets it into the end zone, and Fort Hays State responds. They're back on top 23-21 with 5:31 to go in the game.
The Tigers would end up falling 28-24 to Emporia State. Now host Pittsburgh State on Saturday, 2 o'clock for the kickoff, 1 o'clock for the pregame show, Auto World pregame show on Tiger Radio Mix 103, the KJLS app, and audio at HayesPost.com. Coach Brown, I wanted to maybe take it away from football for just a second. Been at a number of practices over the years, and one thing that you encourage your kids to do, and especially talking to them on Saturdays, is getting to church on Sunday, finding a place to talk to God. And where does that come from?
You know, I don't know. Probably more my wife. You know, my wife is really, involved in the church as well, and she really kind of instilled that in me when we got married, and I just kind of said, all right, well, let's do this, and it's helped our marriage out, it's helped our family out, and it's just made us grow as individuals, and having Dr. B around, and Drew Gannon, and Trey Giles, and Brent Rice, out of the church, just those guys, being mentors for me as well. I mean, that's really who we're playing for, is playing for God and playing for His glory. And it's, we're not here to make everybody else happy. We're here to make Him happy. And He gives us our talents. He gives us our gifts. And, He blesses us every single day, with this family and with each other. So, all glory goes to Him. But that's, I think a lot of kids lose that part of their life when they go to college. They quit going to church because, with growing up, the parents are making you go. We're here. I want them to stay involved and stay encouraged because, you got to answer to somebody someday, and you're going to have to answer to him at one point in your life. But just keeping him in your life gives you hope and gives you strength, and and he's always going to be there for you, and he's always going to love, and he's always going to take care of you. Do
you feel like that most of the kids at least understand the message that you're trying to give them?
I think so. And I tell them all the time, like, I'm not perfect. I say some things, during the game that probably is not godly, but he, he understands. We're in the heat of the battle, and there's a lot of, when you look at the Bible, there's a lot of battles that happen in the Bible as well. And, we just try to encourage it and make sure that they're there, and, that I am a Christian man as well. And, that, if it wasn't for Him, I wouldn't be where I am today. He's given me a lot of success, and He's blessed me with 2 great boys and a great wife, and 130 other great guys, He's blessed me with, and a place that I can call home, at Fort Hays State and Hays, Kansas. So, I don't know. It's just they need it, I need it, and I'm just going to keep encouraging it, on a daily basis. And our coaching staff does a pretty good job of it as well.
You mentioned the other 130 guys. You've got the coaches as well. Everybody still rowing in the same direction?
Yeah, we are. We are, and that's why we're having that meeting today. Just make sure everybody's still on the same page, and we're still going the right way, and God has a plan for us. That's why I told our coaches and players the other day. There's still a plan. There's a thing in place. We got this little thing called Team Sync that we can text all your players through. We got home Friday night, I sent out a pretty nasty text, but then the next morning I woke up and it hit my heart of what's going on. But it's it's God's plan. He's just testing us. He's giving us opportunities and giving us a chance to move forward and get stronger. And that's the conversation we're going to have today. At this team meeting at 2:30.
Weather's going to play a role throughout this week, and whether it's rain or thunderstorms, how much do you use the indoor facility, and how much do you need to get out and practice in that in case the game on Saturday has the rain?
It just depends. If it's just a light rain and there's no lightning, we'll go outside. But if there's lightning, we'll have to go in just so we're not sitting up there until 10 o'clock at night. Waiting for things to pass on. But we'll get out in it as much as possible. Because it's football. We're not indoors in 70-degree weather where there's no weather, so it's you know, we got to take advantage of it and take it's an opportunity to make us better. And you know, sometimes when you go outside in those situations, it makes you focus a little bit more, because if you want to make the play, you really got to truly focus in. So, you know, I think it'd be good for us to go outside in that rain a little bit.
Coach, thanks for the time.
Hey, thank you.
Tigers in action again on Saturday as they get set for Pittsburgh State Hall of Fame Day, so we certainly hope that you can come out and enjoy that as well, as they'll be inducting some of the Tigers, including, as we mentioned a couple of times, former Tiger Jose Salcido. This has been Tiger Talk. Tiger Talk is presented by Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room, your craft beer authority. Old Chicago, north of I-70 in Hayes. Serious craft brews, seriously good food. Tiger Talk is also brought to you by our premier Tiger sponsors, Hayes Med Orthopedic Institute, Taco Shop, Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Golden Belt Bank of Hayes and Ellis, BTI, Horizon Appliance and Mattress, Valley Hope of Norton, and Eagle Communications. Hope you can join us at Tiger Talk next Monday at noon. That's our next on-location recording of Tiger Talk at Old Chicago, north of Interstate 70 in Hayes. For Gerard Wellbrock, I'm Dustin Armbruster, and for Coach Chris Brown, hope to see you Saturday at Lewis Field Stadium, 2 o'clock kickoff, 1 o'clock Auto World pregame show. We'll have the game for you on Tiger Radio Mix 103, as well as the KJLS app and HayesPost.com.
That was another legend on 99 KZ Country. And yes, before that, we had a brand new artist. Your home for today's stars and the legends. We play real country. I'm Teresa Trapp. Weather, news, sports, it's all here. We're on Facebook, and there is a listen live link at HayesPost.com. Dial us in on your radio at 99.5 FM. KHAZ, Real Country. 99 KZ Country.